All right, what you guys wrote down today? You wrote down 4 theorems, well, yesterday, whichever day it was. Who remembers anymore? This is 10.3. What 10.3 is saying is if you have 2 chords that are congruent inside of a circle, okay, then what's going to happen is the arcs of the same name are also going to be congruent. So if we have segment BC and segment DE congruent, that means arc BC and arc DE are also going to be congruent. Notice it's if and only if, meaning it can go the other way as well. So if we have here that the arcs are congruent, then that's also going to mean that the segments are going to be congruent as well. Now if we go to 10.4, 10.4 here is saying if I have a line, a chord that bisects and is perpendicular to another chord, then that chord is going to be the diameter. So I got AB here that's bisecting CE. It's also perpendicular to CE. As we can see, perpendicular to CE, bisect CE, then AB is going to be the diameter. So AB is actually going right through the center of the circle. For 10.5, if you have that diameter and it's cutting a chord in half and it's perpendicular to the chord, perpendicular and bisects the chord, okay, this is theorem 10.5, then what happens is it makes the chord into 2 equal parts. It also makes the arc of the same name into 2 equal parts. So I have DE and EF segment congruent, and I also have, this shouldn't say DE, this should say DC and CF arcs should be congruent because there are no such thing as those, okay? And the last one, 10.6. This is saying if AC and AE are congruent, so notice how these 2 chords are the same distance from the center of the circle, then those 2 chords are going to be congruent. These aren't chords, these are lines. If these 2 lines are congruent, then these 2 chords are also going to be congruent. So if AC is equal to AE, then BD and GF are also going to be equal to each other. So when we go to do the algebra with this, it's going to be setting a lot of things equal and then solving. Okay, so I'm going to do a couple problems here for you. For number 1, we have to find the measure of arc BC. Well, we see that arc AB is 116. So what we're going to do is we're going to take 360 and subtract 116 from that. And that tells me there's 244 degrees left of this circle. Well, if you notice, AC and BC are both the same in terms of the measure of chords. So that means the arcs of the same name are also going to be congruent. So what we're going to do is we need to take this 244 and divide it by 2 so that each of these arcs are 122. And arc BC here then is 122. Okay? We go to number 4, same thing going on. Arc AB is 130. So we know in a circle it's 360 degrees, and if I subtract 130 from that, that gives me 230 degrees. AB, or excuse me, chord, excuse me, AC and chord BC are both congruent to each other. They're both 7. So then that tells me that the 2 arcs are also going to be congruent to each other. So then we need to take our 230 and cut it in half again. These are both 115, so that makes arc AC 115, okay? Number 7, we need to find X. Oh, wait, there it is. Ha, math humor. Okay, so I have here where the diameter is perpendicular to a chord. So if the diameter is perpendicular to the chord, it's also going to cut the chord in half. So then what I have to do is I have to take my 3x plus 16 and set that equal to 12x plus 7. Okay? So now we're going to subtract 7 from both sides, and then we'll subtract 3x from both sides. So I have 9 equals 9x, and when we divide both by 9, x equals 1. Okay? Number 10, find x again. This time, since from the center of the circle to ST and the center of the circle to VU are both equidistant, they're both 18, that tells me then that ST and VU are also going to be equal to each other. So we're going to set these 2 equal again. 6x plus 5 is going to equal 13 plus 4x. So if I subtract 4x from both sides and I subtract 5 from both sides, that's going to give me 2x equals 8. And when we divide by 2, x equals 4. Now remember, you can always go back in and check to make sure that your answer makes sense. I can put 4 in here. I get 6 times 4 is 24, plus 5 is 29. If I put 4 in here, I get 13 plus 16, that's 29, so they're equal to each other. So then what you have to do now is you have to do page 190 in the packet. That's 1 to 12. And they say that what you should do is when you wash your hands, you should sing a song. It should last at least 20 seconds. So that's what you're going to leave you with today. I'm actually not going to sing. I'm going to rap a little ditty I made up just for you guys. All right? So, freestyling, profiling, looking around the room, all I see is people smile and about to drop some knowledge on your head. Play baseball, chatter with the Royals and the Reds. There's also something that you might not know, that I'm the baddest mother hunter with the biggest ego. Yo, my name is Joe and this is geometry class. And if you don't like it, you can kiss my, oh, wait, I can't say that, let me change the tide. Let's just say that's my angle side. I don't really care whether you hate or like, because when I'm done, I'll just drop the mic. Can't wait to see you guys back in your gold and green. At the end of the song, your hands will be clean. Wash your hands, save life.